Brandon Greene, head boys basketball coach at Weiss High School. Oh my gosh, this is the part that I'm dreading. Grew up in Houston, single mom, only child. My mom kind of threw me into sports early. Everything, soccer, karate, basketball, obviously. And I think for her, you know, single mom, worked a lot. She just wanted me to be around people and to be in something and not sit around and have idle time. She knows there's one or two ways to go, especially, you know, young black man from Southwest Houston, there's one or two ways to go. I think she always wanted me to have a positive male role model. And then not having siblings, it's always like, well, how do you learn how to share? How do you learn how to play with others? And the easiest answer is, yeah, you get on a team. You know, my mom worked as hard as anybody I know to make sure I could do all the things and not miss out. You know, it probably wasn't until I was 25 or 30 where I realized, like, yeah, she wanted to be at everything, but you got to make a choice. It's like, do I make it or do I make sure he can do it? Basketball was always first. Man, I think I started playing when I was 7 or 8, and I loved it early. Loved the 90s Chicago Bulls, a huge fan. I went to the parade in 94 when the Rockets won, right? And I'm 6.5, 7 years old, right? So I went to Westbury Christian at the time, was probably, you know, one of the premier prep schools in the country. But, you know, when you go in a situation like that, you never get a day off, right? Because there's always somebody better than you, not as good as you, and you fighting for minutes every single day. It's probably the most competitive basketball I ever played was in high school. And luckily, you know, I had great coaches. I have guys that I respect to this day who kind of taught me how to play basketball. I coach the way I coach because of the foundation I built at Westbury Christian. So, and I will give a lot of credit to Reed Sutton, who was my JV basketball coach. I think he saw something in me early. I remember my mom having to go out of town, and I was a fringe JV varsity basketball player as a sophomore. And Reed, make sure that I don't miss a tournament. My mom's got to go out of town. And he's like, no, he can stay with me. And for a week, I stayed at his house. He's got 2 young daughters, Kylie and Marissa. I'll never forget it. And he takes in a 16-year-old kid. And multiple times over my high school career, I stay with him. And he treats me like I was his own. And then, so there was something there that I was like, yeah, that's what I want to do. I kind of knew then, like, coaching is more than the X's and O's. And so that's kind of what got me to do what I do, how I do it. I get an offer from West Point, get an offer from Army, I commit. My mom, this is 2006. My mom was like, yeah, bro, you can't do it. Like, I will not send my only child to the Army. So have to decommit, and my options are slim at this point. So we start shopping some film around. Shout out to Yusuf Larry, who was teaching computer science at Westbury Christian at the time. He finds a couple of the best games I play all year, and I'm old, I'm gonna date myself. He burns me like 10 DVDs. Kids, for y'all who are watching, those are CDs that you put into a player that play videos, right? No, he burns me like 10 of them, and we find schools that we think I can play at. UTD is one of them. Coach Butterfield gives me an invite to come up, play in an open gym. I go, I play really well. And he's like, yeah, I don't have a spot for you, but you can come walk on and try. And I love the campus. I loved everything about it. And something was just like, yeah, it feels right. So he gives me a chance. It was a wrap after that. I think I played in 119 games. I think I'm still the all-time leader in games played.
Time you stepped off the bus?
I shot the ball pretty well in the conference tournament, and so it gives you a little bit of confidence coming into a game like this.
I broke my hand my senior year. I was tired. I had to rehab. Played my 5th year senior year, and afterwards I was done. I was burnt out. I don't think I touched a basketball in any capacity for at least a year after that. I finished grad school. Went into a corporate job, started sitting behind a desk, and I hated life. I hated it. Luckily for me, I had started doing some coaching on the side. I got the bug pack. I started as a JV coach at Cambridge School in Dallas, TAPS 2A school in Dallas. My first year at Cambridge, the varsity won state, so I was an assistant on that state title team. Last year's my first year here at Weiss, yeah. You know, unfortunately, we had a lot of seniors who had 3 coaches in 4 years, and, you know, they don't get to reap the benefits of somebody being here longer than a year or two for them. But what we wanted to do was for those guys who were going to be here, those freshmen, those sophomores, we have to establish something that's sustainable. And that was kind of our biggest thing for last year, was to establish something sustainable. Greg Brown does a great job. The best thing I did was hire him. We actually played each other in college. When I was at UTD, I'm 2 years older. He was at Concordia. We were all in the same conference. Now, we didn't know it would be as seamless of a fit as it is, but honestly, I couldn't imagine doing this job without him. We got 1 senior. We got 3 returners. Young. Young. They make me feel old. They let me know I'm unk all the time. This team has a lot of energy. They have a lot of passion. They're competitive. I like where we're going. We're going to take some bumps and some bruises, but I think this is the team that they only bump their head once before they figure it out. We got some guys that can shoot it. Our guards are very solid, between Miles Hardiman, Maddox Ross, Brandon Willie, Adonis Wright, Zion Purefoy, Chris Thompson, Junior Shepard. It's 7 guys that we feel we can play in a lot of different situations. They give us a lot of different things. I like the depth at that position. It's going to be experience. I tell them all the time, like, we can play basketball. That ain't going to be it. Is the immaturity going to get us? Is the experience going to get us? You know, it's just some things that, you know, I can preach them all day, but until they get in there and they feel it, I'm excited about having a group that I can run for basically 2 years. I'm excited for the growth. And I think they show up to work every day. They know what we could be. And so I'm excited to see them blossom and get to that.